first round of the Irish Tarmac Rally Championship, and with a full capacity entry of top quality rally cars, this iconic event is celebrating 40 years. We're here at the famous ring stage. It's the start. Welcome to the West Cork Rally.
Hello and welcome to the 2018 Quality Hotel Clonakilty West Cork Rally, and with the cancellation of the Galway International in February, this event was the opening round of the Irish Tarmac Rally Championship, which runs over 6 rounds covering the Easter stages, the Rally of the Lakes in Killarney, the Donegal International, the Ulster Rally and the Cork 20. And the number 1 seed and a man seeking 5 in a row, Ford Focus World Rally car of Donegal's Donna Kelly.
Donna, great to see you back in Cork. Do you think you can go for 5 out of 5?
Well, we're not here to make up the numbers, we're here to give it a good go. It's going to be a tough weekend, but looking forward to it, really up for the challenge and up for the race.
Kelly can't collect championship points as World Rally cars are in a class of their own. One that certainly can is the R5 Fiesta of Monaghan's Sam Moffat.
Defending the title, is there a lot of pressure involved?
Probably less pressure because I've now got that over me, but I'm here to enjoy it and go as hard as I can, and there's some fierce competition out there.
Rob Barrable is back in a Fiesta.
It's going to be very difficult with the conditions that has happened in the last couple of weeks with the snow, so there's a lot of mud and water pulled out, but we're here for the race and that's kind of what we signed up to do.
Barrable competed in a Hyundai i20 last year, but he switched back to a Fiesta for the West Cork, while Johnny Greer is also entered in a Fiesta.
New car for this rally, obviously a one-off in the Fiesta this year, and it's a completely different car to the Citroen, a lot of different characteristics, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
As Johnny rolls away from the start ramp, we also get a word from the 7th seed, Desi Henry.
Desi, how'd you find the change now? You were in the Skoda, now the Fiesta.
We done Mayo last weekend and the car was really good, really steady and the fast stuff, which is going to really benefit us this weekend, so we think it should be good.
Just behind, seated at number 8, the return of a legend, the genie Eugene Donnelly, the 5-time Irish Tarmac champion in his brand new Hyundai i20.
Fantastic feeling to be starting a rally again. My first West Cork rally, mind you, but it's great to be up on the ramp here. Sitting in behind the wheel of the car, feeling all cosy in there, really looking forward to tomorrow.
And this is what the cars and crews face over the opening day, with 8 stages in total to be traversed. Stages 1 and 3 will take place at Ring, one of the true classic Irish stages. Stages 2 and 4 are at Clogach, which is quite a hilly run with some fast, tricky sections. Stages 3 and 6 are at Newshastown, a stage last used in the West Cork back in 2015, while stages 6 and 8 are at Ballinascarthy, another popular West Cork stage, the shortest on this year's event. And the action and the opening 4 stages. The Irish Tarmac Rally Championship organisers decided a few years ago that World Rally cars cannot collect championship points, and that the new generation R5 and S2000 machines would be the way forward. However, somewhat controversially, World Rally machines were allowed to win individual events. Thus, Donna Kelly, who's kept his Ford Focus, was back in his attempt to win 5 in a row in West Cork.
Go. 100, flat 2 right. 150 up mid.
And over the opening 4 stages, there was nothing to catch Kelly and Foley, even in a car that's 10 years old now. It's a finely tuned machine, and under the Donegal driver's heel, the 2015 Irish Tarmac champion opened up a 56.5 second lead.
Flat 2 right. 80 come out for long 4 left. Big push, use the road, powered early. 60. Flat 2 left, unseen push. 300. Keep out for long, flat 2 left. Dump left into 3 right, 100.
Kelly has tinkered with the idea of getting an R5. If he wants to win another championship, that's exactly what he'll have to do. Kelly was in a league of his own over the opening 4 stages on the opening day of this year's West Cork Rally, and such was his early lead, nothing bar enough, it seemed, was going to halt his progress to 5 in a row. Second place after the opening 4 test fell to Monaghan's Josh Moffat, the former Irish forestry champion, in his Fiesta R5. Moffat won the Motorsport Ireland Young Driver accolade in 2016 and last year competed in selected rounds of the European Championship, taking an excellent 3rd place on the Rally of the Azores. He led the championship contingent after the opening 4 stages, but almost a minute off Kelly's lead. Here's the reigning champion Sam Moffat in another Fiesta, and boy what a year he had in 2017, winning the Tarmac, National and Forestry titles, the first driver to win the clean sweep. Pressures of running the Combi Lifts family business means that Sam is just concentrating on the Tarmac series in 2018. And after 4 stages, his Fiesta was 3rd, 26.1 seconds off his younger brother Josh. Like Donna Kelly, Declan Boyle from Donegal was competing in a World Rally car, a Ford Fiesta. And after the opening 4, the 2014 Tarmac champion was 4th overall in the standings. That was despite that big moment on stage 1, which almost ended his involvement in this year's event before it had started. Boyle also survived a big spin towards the end of the opening test and was thankful to be still running as we headed for service.
Declan Boyle, hello, what a start. Tell us what happened to the car.
We had a good enough run through stage 1 there, but towards the end of the stage there's a slippy section. It was a 6 left double tightened, but the car crossed the road and the back of it caught in the drain, so we managed to keep the throttle on to take it out, but there's something bent in the back of it, so we buggered up our second stage there as well.
3, 2, 1 and go.
Desi Henry and his co-driver Liam Moynihan were happy enough with his opening salvo on this year's West Cork Rally. Desi competed in a number of events last year, including the Irish Tarmac and Forestry Series, as well as making appearances in the British Rally Championship in his Skoda Fabia R5. Now in a Ford Fiesta, Henry was 5th on the standings, but 3rd of the championship runners, 43.1 seconds off Sam Moffat.
300 to the 3 is okay. And you need to listen in, listen. Lead 4 plus, slowing 60, turn square right. Going in for 8, slowing 60, square right, very slippy ahead.
Dubliner Robert Barrable brought the Hyundai i20 into Ireland last season with limited success and limited mileage during the year. He and regular co-driver Damien Connolly were back in West Cork in a Ford Fiesta, and after the opening 4 tests the pair were 6th overall. It was tight between Barrable and Henry, with just 1.4 seconds separating the pair. Not much time to take in the breathtaking West Cork scenery as we go in car with the Fiesta driver.
6 right gap, 120. Slowing left over crest, and 5 left minus, wet on the exit. 60, 6 right over crest, 60, 4 left damp minus, don't cut.
Monaghan's Stephen Wright was next in his Fiesta and was 33.4 seconds off Barrable. Like Josh Moffat, Wright is a former Motorsport Ireland Young Rally Driver of the Year recipient, but he had a terrible 2017 season and he'll be hoping to put that right in 2018. Arthur Cairns is back as his navigator this year. Johnny Greer was 7th after the opening 4 runs in his Fiesta. The opening ring stage is always a favourite with the drivers. The fast, wide-flowing roads, partly along the coast, make for some spectacular driving, and Greer was settling into his first drive in the Fiesta R5. He was 8th overall, 11.2 seconds off Wright. 9th was Daniel Cronin, brother of Keith Cronin, the 4-time British champion, in his Fiesta R5. Cronin is a winner in his own right, having won the Fastnet Rally in 2016 and the Clare Stages Rally in 2017. Cronin and his Killarney co-driver Shane Buckley were just 3.6 seconds off Greer.
60, 6 right over crest, stop, stay in, turn small mud, hairpin left plus, small mud, hairpin left plus, 4 right minus, 5 left.
And rounding up the top 10, Eugene Donnelly and navigator Mark Kane in the Hyundai i20. Donnelly has said the car and the sponsorship is a long-term plan, and that when the time came, he'd gladly step aside and let a younger driver take over. Still, it was good to see the Genie back in the Tarmac Championship. In 11th was the two-wheel drive car of Callum Devine. Devine, the current Young Rally Driver of the Year, produced an outstanding result in Rally Sweden in the first round of the Junior World Rally Championship, where he was 5th in class on his first ever World Championship round. We'll see more of Callum Devine and the rest of the other classes in West Cork in another programme. The organisers of the West Cork Rally were delighted with the turnout of R5 cars in this year's event, and Colin Quirk was just outside the top 10 in a Ford Fiesta. Ger O'Donovan and Derek Tobin lay 16th after the opening 4 stages in their Subaru Impreza, while Keith Lyons and Sean Hegarty, who were signed up to contest the full championship, were safely inside the top 20 in their R5.
Keith, your first time out in the R5 and Joe Connolly's old car.
It is indeed, yeah. First time out in Joe's old car. So today, like this weekend, really now it's a test. I haven't even driven the car before this, so that's kind of where we're at.
Ed Toomey and Sean Hassett were just outside the top 20 in their Punto Abarth. So 4 more stages to be run over the opening day of this year's event. Cold and bitter winds and snow had battered Ireland over the month, and it was to the credit of the organisers that the event was a smooth one, and credit too to the crowds who braved the cold conditions to see the action on day 1 of this year's event. But no surprise to see Donna Kelly extend his lead, and at the end of 8 tests, the Donegal driver had an overall advantage of 1 minute 25.5 seconds.
Long 2 left. It's flat past the safe hole, 120 down. Long 2 left. Minus starts at the stone wall, continues 60. Keep in, be brave. 250 down.
Josh Moffat had no chance of catching Kelly, so his concentration remained fully on taking maximum championship points. His co-driver Andy Hayes and he were well in command of their second place in the Fiesta, and he seemed to be driving well within himself on what are difficult and tough West Cork stages. The second of the World Rally cars, Declan Boyle's Fiesta, was now up to third and 25.8 seconds adrift of Josh Moffat. It's Boyle's first visit to the West Cork stages, and unlike the leader Kelly, he didn't know the stages as well as the overall rally leader.
Cut speed 3 left, opens past the walls, 180. And braking 1 left, narrows and stop, 3 right and 3 left. Watch us down here. 3 right and 3 left, 40. 1 right, stop dead, 4 left.
Sam Moffat had now dropped to 4th in his R5 Fiesta, but he really got going on the last stage of the day, posting the fastest R5 time. The gap between the Monaghan driver and Boyle stood at a mere 2.3 seconds, but perhaps more importantly, he was 28.1 seconds off his brother Josh in the battle for championship points. Not a bad first day for Desi Henry in his first run in the Fiesta R5, as he finished stage 8th and 5th on the overall leaderboard and 3rd in the R5 class.
4 right, small slowing, don't cut, 40 over the bridge, 4 right, 60, 4 right minus here now, 4 minus and flat 5 left, slowing 60, turn 1 left, small gravel, going away, 1 left, small gravel, 30, onto Beher Road now, 4 left, 60.
Lads, you're both on the limit today. How are you finding it?
Tough. Yeah, we're in the back foot this morning there, and yeah, I don't have much of an answer at the minute.
Yeah, I don't know what to say really. Like, I think the times are definitely coming in good for us, and we're trying to go a bit easier now in the last loop, and it's just not working for us. We end up hitting a chicane, but yeah, look, we're happy enough with our pace, and we'll tip on, and hopefully the times keep coming.
And our top 5 leaderboard then at the end of day 1. Donna Kelly has a commanding lead. Second is Josh Moffat, ahead of Declan Boyle, Sam Moffat and Desi Henry in 5th.
End of day 1 at the West Cork Rally, and Donna Kelly is still leading. We'll be back with more action on day 2 for the Irish Tarmac Rally Championship.
Welcome back to day 2 of the West Cork Rally, an event that is celebrating its 40th anniversary this weekend. In 2015 it became a full round of the Irish Tarmac Rally Championship for the first time, and whilst it's known predominantly as a clubman rally, it's now fully established as an Irish Tarmac round, and an interested spectator was Niall Murphy, the Vice President of Motorsport Ireland.
Niall, it's a pleasure to see you here in West Cork, and no stranger to the event. You were competing in the first event and have been here for the last 40 years supporting it.
Correct, yes. I've been competing in the first event, as you say, and I've been doing officiating various things, mainly results, every year since.
Fantastic. What was the first event like? Because looking back, it must have been a very, very different motorsport, occasion.
Well, motorsport was very different then. For instance, we went rallying with a crash helmet and this basically. Suits were unheard of. And it was very different, much more enjoyable, much cheaper, but unfortunately, I suppose time moves on and you have to keep up with the times.
And the atmosphere, Niall, it's still fantastic here in West Cork.
The atmosphere is undoubtedly unique, might be pushy, but certainly it's very different, very good. Everybody likes it. That's why most people come back.
And so to day 2 of this year's event, and the cars and crews remaining in this year's rally make ready to leave Parc Fermé to traverse the remaining 6 stages. The questions now are, can Donna Kelly win 5 in a row? And can Josh Moffat hold on to his leading championship place? And this is what they face on day 2. Stages 9 and 12 are the old classic Ardfield. Another classic West Cork stage is Sam's Cross, and that will provide the location for stages 10 and 13. While stage 11 will be run at Rossmore, which will also provide us with the final test, stage 14, before the finish near Reen Row. And so to the first loop of stages on day 2, and decent crowds out again on the stages despite the bitterly cold conditions. Overnight rally leader Donna Kelly in his focus was first on the road through the classic Ardfield stage. Donna took up where he left off yesterday by setting a fastest time, even though he was hampered by dust. Amazing in the cold conditions. But being in such a commanding position, he admitted he'd taken his foot off the gas, and by the end of stage 11 he led by 1 minute 48.8 seconds.
Clean out back of sign and 5 right through junction. Small tightens, comes quick. 150. Keep out for 4 left at the low gate push. Repeat low gate.
Josh Moffat remained in second on the standings after 11, and he was the first of the R5 cars. Moffat, though, complained he was struggling with the throttle on his Fiesta. The problem was coming and going, though he'd lost very little time. His brother Sam, the defending Irish champion, had worked his way up to 3rd place in his Fiesta and was switching to a wet compound tyre for the remaining 3 stages. Would there be a battle royal between the Monaghan siblings, as he was just 19.4 seconds behind Josh with 3 to go? Declan Boyle in the World Rally Fiesta was now 4th overall, allowing Sam Moffat to get by because an arm had broken in his Fiesta's rear suspension. It was a pity because up to that point he'd been closing in on Josh Moffat on the faster Sunday morning stages. Desi Henry was flying in the Fiesta and was the fastest R5 car through the opening stage on day 2 as Kelly lowered his speed at the front. Henry, though, was fastest of all through stage 11 at Rossmore. With 3 stages remaining, Henry was 3rd in R5 and 5th overall, 32.7 seconds off Declan Boyle's Fiesta World Rally car.
6 right 30, flat 5 right over crest at the pole, 40 flat 6 right past the walls, narrows, 80 flat 6 right over junction, dirty, dipping it, 150, going ahead, 6 left past the house, slowing 30, white tray plus keep in.
Robert Barrable won the West Cork Rally when it was a non-Irish Tarmac Championship event in 2011. That was 4 years after his father Michael won it in 2007. He was 6th on the overall standings in the Fiesta after 11 stages, with just 6.5 seconds off Desi Henry. He was getting used to the new Fiesta over the fast flowing stages on day 2.
And the 5 right keep in. Repeat 5 left minus and 5 right keep in. Left over crest, 40 crest, square left, don't cut, loose.
Jonathan Greer and Kirsty Riddick were making no impression on the likes of Henry and Barrable, and indeed we're now looking over their shoulders at the Fiesta of Daniel Cronin, who closed to within 2 seconds of the Fiesta with 3 stages to go on this year's event. Cronin was making local knowledge pay off. He'd be anxious to get past Greer over the remaining stages.
5 right half long, 80, 5 right onto the main road, keep her at it, 150 up, 6 left of the yellow house, and 2 right plus past the bail. 2 right plus past the bail. 150. Don't cut. Long 6 left plus. Goes around. Tightens well in the yellow pillar.
Stephen Wright finished the stage with tape draped over the roof of his Fiesta. He said he had no idea where it came from. He did drop 2 places on the leaderboard though, and was now 9th on the overall standings. Eugene Donnelly remained in 10th in the Hyundai with 3 to go. And to final service, 3 stages to go on this year's West Cork Rally, and a chance to catch up firstly with the R5 leader Josh Moffat.
Been a difficult morning for us now. Our throttle was sticking there on and off for the first 3 stages here, so hopefully now the guys have got it sorted and it'll be a bit easier for us this afternoon.
Sam, it's been a bit of a tough morning for Josh and yourself.
Yeah, we made a tough tyre choice this morning. Didn't really work out for us, but yeah, no, it wasn't too bad, and we're here now and just get through the final 3.
Desi, third in R5, you must be happy with your performance.
Yeah, obviously it's a pretty much a new rally for us, a lot of new stages, and we're quickest in a few of the last stages there. So no, we're very, very pleased. Rob's tightened our tail here, so it's going to be a good battle up to the end here.
There's only 6 between myself and Desi, so it's a good race on. I suppose we're here to race, so we'll have to try our best and see how we get on and go from there, like, you know.
But nothing was guaranteed for any of the remaining competitors over what was a bitterly cold St Patrick's weekend with snow sweeping the country. But thankfully only small flurries in West Cork, which meant we got through the full complement of 14 stages. And this is how we finished, in reverse order. In 10th, Johnny Greer and Kirsty Riddick in the Fiesta, after a time-consuming puncture cost Greer several minutes and dropped him down the leaderboard on the final 3 runs. As a result of Greer's problems, Eugene Donnelly took 9th place in his first run in the Hyundai i20. He'll have been pleased to get the car home and will now use the data collected to press on for the rest of the season. 8th, Stephen Wright in the Fiesta, well over 2 minutes ahead of Donnelly and showing no real signs, though, that he can mix it with the other championship running R5s at the moment. Daniel Cronin and Shane Buckley will be more than happy with a 7th place overall and 5th place in the R5 standings in what was essentially their home event in the Ford Fiesta. Problems, however, for Desi Henry as he spun his Fiesta R5 on the penultimate Sam Cross stage. Desi lost over 20 seconds and dropped to 6th overall at the end of 14. Up to 5th as a result, and on the R5 podium, Robert Barrable. A slow start to the weekend ended with a flourish. Barrable only did a few rounds in the Hyundai last year. We'll see a full championship assault perhaps in 2018 in this Fiesta. Declan Boyle had dropped to 4th as he continued to struggle with the car's handling after 11 stages, and that's where he finished. Boyle has tied with the idea of getting an R5 car. It'd be great to see him in the championship mix once again. Sam Moffat just couldn't close the gap between himself and his brother Josh over the remaining 3 stages. It was close enough, as the gap between the pair was just 9.3 seconds. Josh Moffat did enough to hold 2nd place despite a second-day charge from his brother. Josh had enough in hand, having fixed his throttle problems after stage 11, and he took maximum championship points. The last loop of stages was all about Donagh Kelly, keeping things steady, and he achieved this with a minimum of fuss, taking a remarkable 5th consecutive win in the process. Kelly's winning margin at the end, a very comfortable 1 minute 45.8 seconds.
400 over the causeway. 1 left over small crest and 2 right minus.
It is special. It's great to have your name in the history books, and it will take a long time. Obviously, it's going to take at least 6 years for somebody to better it, you know. So we can sit back for a while yet and enjoy it.
Josh Moffat has started the season well, maximum points in the R5 Fiesta.
Yeah, it's been an unbelievable weekend. You know, it was a very tough start to the day, especially whenever we had some issues with the car. But look, it was great to get through that, and Sam was definitely closing in on us all day. So great to come home with the win now.
Sam Moffat now is a battle on to retain his title as we move to the Easter Stages Rally, round 2 of the series. But it's been a fine event in West Cork.
I'd like to thank all the marshals out there for the weekend. I mean, you were there yourself. It's been bitterly cold. For those people to stand out for the last 2 days, without them we wouldn't have been able to do it.
So the top 5 then. Donagh Kelly wins. Josh Moffat takes maximum championship points in 2nd, ahead of Sam Moffat, Declan Boyle and Robert Barrable, making up the top 5. In the championship after the first round, Josh Moffat leads on 17 points. Sam Moffat's got 14, ahead of Robert Barrable, Desi Henry and Daniel Cronin in 5th.
Round 1 of the Tarmac Championship thrilled spectators. Donagh achieved his 5 in a row and Josh Moffat is leading the championship. Now 40 years on, Greg McCarthy and his team have proved once again that West Cork has got it all. Until next time, bye for now.